Hey guys, Wiley Wills here. In today's video, I'm ranking every Overwatch 2 hero from worst to best. I've ranked them based on 5 ratings. Design, that being mainly the hero's base skin, but also considering their other skins. Personality, so their general character in voice lines and shorts. Gameplay, so how fun they are to play and how consistently fun they are. Their lore, so how impactful and entertaining it generally is. And finally, their viability. So that's how they are currently doing in the meta at my rank, which is gold and platinum. This is completely my opinion, but let me know yours below. Remember to subscribe, and let's get into it. Number 36, Symmetra, the one character I genuinely forgot about and am recording halfway through editing. I have a burning hatred for playing against her, and her normal gameplay is literally point and click. I'm not a fan of her design, I don't like her voice lines, and her turrets cause me so much pain. Also, I still don't get why she's here. Wanting change, but instead of helping with climate change, she's running around beaming people to death. If there was one hero who could be deleted from the game, I'd go for her. Number 35, Echo. Now, Echo is about as interesting as grass, with even the developers forgetting that she exists by simply not giving her a default Overwatch 2 skin. It also helps that she's the icon of our community being left with nothing for literal years. In my opinion, she's an overly complicated and kind of irrelevant hero in the grand scheme of things. I never noticed her on my team, nor the enemy team, and her ult just doesn't feel very threatening. Number 34, Sojourn. Her whole personality is being Canadian, which is friendly and wanting to help, but it's a little uninteresting. If she was a hero in 2016, she'd actually have a character, but in comparison to other Overwatch members, she's quite boring. Her abilities are unfun to go against, and they're very skill intensive to use, so people will have fun against me using her, but I just generally don't have fun using her myself. Her ult is also quite lazy in design, it's just using another ability but spammed. Number 33, Baptiste. The one character I will never, ever play for the full length of a match. All his abilities feel as clunky to use as a Switch controller. Using them together requires immense brain power, and I'd rather play a support that needs less for the same outcome. His primary fire could also just be a damage character's primary fire, so that's something. Number 32, Zarya. Zarya has a dull kit, a dull personality, and dull skins. After they were finished designing her, they went, "Oh shit!" because they had to make skins out of her design. Her lore is kind of interesting, but everyone hates Omnics. Get over yourself. Number 31, Ashe. When she was released, I was like, that's a cool kit, I can work with this. But after the honeymoon period was over, I realised that you could literally download Overwatch faster than she could reload her gun. Bob carries Ashe players, and he's been wasted on an ultimate when he could have easily been a character. Her design is generally cool, and I do like the skins, although Bob carries those as well. Her lore is Cassidy, but with an actual backstory, which, I mean, it does make sense, but it links a bit too heavily to him. Number 30, Widowmaker. Another character with a nationality as their personality, but I do like her backstory and general design. When someone picks her, I get a mixture of hope and anxiety, as they could carry or they could throw. I do have no rights to call people out though, as I myself am shockingly bad at Widowmaker. Number 29, Mei. The spawn of Satan herself. Her moveset is unique and effective, while her voice lines are the most spammable things in the world. She's the best character to troll your own team with, and a good one could easily carry a game. Her design, however, is forgettable, and her personality is just annoying. Number 28, Sombra. I hate playing Sombra, and I hate playing against Sombra. Sombra players must love Groundhog Day, as all they do is the same shit over and over and over again. Her lore is probably the most interesting in Overwatch, as she's the only one really doing anything, and her design is pretty cool. She also has a pierce voice line, which is, it's just brilliant. Number 27, Kiriko. Has a great attitude as a character, with a surprisingly entertaining animated short. A support hero, thank God, just keep them coming Blizzard, please. Her moveset is unique, but slightly frustrating to go against, as she disappears like a pencil you've dropped at the sight of danger. Her healing output is solid, and her damage can be good, if you can be bothered to learn her awkward bullet travel with such small projectiles. Number 26, Ana. The issue with Ana is that your teammates are always trying to immerse themselves into her gameplay by acting like they've only got one eye while playing. It's kind of crazy that they gave a sniper rifle to the one character who doesn't have depth perception. She has an interesting enough backstory and character though, with some very unique and slightly game-breaking abilities. Just a shame my teammates can't aim. Number 25, Pharah. Pharah is Iron Man, but with ugly armour, and she's Egyptian. Nothing wrong with that, it's just a fact. Her redesign is one of the worst in my opinion, with its blobbiness and unneeded white. Her skins do look decent though. Gameplay wise, she's really fun, unless you're against a flak gun like Soldier 76. Her ult is risky, but rewarding, a definite positive. Generally, her personality is basic, but you get why she's here. Number 24, Hanzo. Hitting good shots with Hanzo is about as luck-based as winning in Mario Kart. If you have some skill, it'll sway the odds, but it's generally based on luck. Still a fun moveset though. His design and skins are a bit weak, but his story is quite cool. I just can't get over the fact that the guy who is looking for redemption for killing people is actively killing people, while preaching about his sadness. Number 23, Junker Queen. We knew she was coming, and her abilities even got leaked. I didn't believe the leaks as the moveset looked so messy and like it was copied directly off Roadhog. Well, the leaks were true, and gameplay wise, she doesn't actually feel like too much of a copy. She's fun in personality and gameplay, I just want to know what else she does with Gracie, considering that's all she cares about. Number 22, Orisa. Built as a counter to Doom, still a counter to Doom, so they've done well in keeping some consistency. Her redo turned her from the most boring hero in the game to one of the funnest, and I think they upgraded her design pretty well. Her only weaknesses are her lore and the fact that robots rarely have a personality in the first place, especially here. Number 21, Moira. A scientist that went over the line years ago and prefers it over there. Her voice lines are entertaining and I like how her lore is connected to other characters, though gameplay wise she does feel a bit clunky. If you get a Moira on your team, in my rank that is, there is a 50-50 chance that they focus only on damage. Flanking as if they're a tracer, cause who cares about teamwork? Also, I don't like 90% of her skins. Number 20, Roadhog. Currently owning the meta with his ability to one-shot squishies so easily, Overwatch becomes a horror game for supports when against this guy, as all you can do is dodge and run. With the insane amount of healing that he can gain from 2 healers and his own heal, it also feels impossible to kill him at times. Still kind of fun to play though, and his personality is hilarious, even if he does lack a bit of lore. His design is pretty incredible, with a lot of skins being rather iconic. I hate his redesign though. Number 19, D.Va. The one character the player base can actually relate to. Just take away the military training, acting career, and being good at video games, and there you have it, the general Overwatch gamer. Her design is alright, though I think the mech suit is kind of ugly. Her lore is good, but I had to give her a lower score for friend-zoning my boy. That scene was sadder than anything going on with Hanzo and Genji. Her gameplay is quite fun, boosting through their team while deleting game-changing abilities. She just gets countered decently well by certain heroes, so she isn't the most viable. Number 18, Zenyatta. After 6 years, Zenyatta finally got a bit of lore with Ramattra, and I do quite like it. I think their relationship is sweet, with a bit of regret from both sides. His gameplay is surprisingly fun and active for a character with no movement abilities. Hey Zarya, that's how you do it. His design is also pretty good, having a ton of creative skins released over the years. Just a shame he can't be creative with what he says. Number 17, Soldier 76. Our favourite war criminal, who says he fights for justice when he clearly just enjoys shattering jaws. Blizzard do seem to be making him an old dad-like character though, which feels a bit cringe on the battlefield. His lore makes him out to be a disgruntled veteran, but I can't take him seriously when he's constantly referencing the fact that he's old in a jokey way. His design is cool, not a fan of the beard, but his skins make up for this. His gun's recoil is weird in Overwatch and is really the only reason I don't enjoy playing him. Other than that though, he's all around solid. Number 16, Sigma. Overwatch's story will end once he's found out what that melody truly is. His lore is actually quite epic, especially his origin shot. It just shows his insanity so well. His voice lines are genuinely funny, and he looks pretty cool, though it feels like he didn't get much of an update. His gameplay feels a bit dull, just changing shield zones while spamming damage into anything that moves. His ult is honestly the funnest part of his kit. Number 15, Bastion. This Omnic literally cannot speak, and yet has more personality than Echo. I love this guy, just look at them. They even have a cap. The moveset is definitely better in Overwatch 2, but I think the ult could have stayed the same, considering the new ult is as equal in contribution to the team as me to society. I do think his design is good though, you simply can't go wrong with a Transformer. Number 14, Reinhardt. Reinhardt has a very exciting and spammable personality. Along with his legendary design and rocket hammer, it's made him one of the most iconic Overwatch heroes to date. Currently he's one of the weaker tanks though, due to many other tanks that simply counter him. The range of movement options characters have now has also made his own moveset feel slightly frustrating to use, as any sign of Reinhardt and most characters can get out of range. Number 13, Wrecking Ball. What a weird name for a hero. I think they should have just stuck with Hammond to be honest. Hammond was a pretty exciting reveal, with a really good lead up. Everyone thought he was an evil monkey, when it turned out he was just a chill hamster. I love everything about his backstory, from getting a toe off the moon from Winston to becoming an arena fighter in Junkertown. I think the ball's lines are a bit cringe though, and his design, while creative, is just a ball. The moveset is okay for 5v5, but I don't think I see anyone pick Hammond ever. Number 12, Genji. The character who was very obviously based off Lego Ninjago. His backstory is excellent, and I like his wise lines, but in the current lore, he is just a ninja, that works for Overwatch. He's just a dude that appears sometimes because, oh look, epic ninja. His gameplay is difficult, but definitely rewarding to play, as you do truly feel like a ninja. And his skins are pretty solid, made over a design that was already high quality. Number 11, Mercy. I really like Blizzard's own attempt at a flight simulator in one of their games. It's really fun to shoot around the sky, dodging projectiles, healing people, and getting sneaky resurrects in. I just think that it eventually gets samey and thus boring. Her design is nice, and there are a lot of notable Mercy skins. I don't think she has too much lore, which has kind of led to her personality being the fact that she's a normal medic, but yeah, generally decent character. Number 10, Torbjorn. Torbjorn literally made careers with his meme strats back in the day, and his overall character lended itself to being the funny one, and I do like that Blizzard embraced this. I think his gameplay can be fun, with his close range firepower being equal to Reaper's. I'm just not a fan of babysitting the turret. His personality is fun, and I like that his lore is connected to Bastion, so yeah, good character right there. Number 9, Winston. The love child of Charles Darwin and Nikola Tesla, Winston mixes both unholy genetic enhancements and torturing people with electricity, while still being a friendly gorilla. His lore is well done, and I like his design, though I think some skins are a bit bland. His gameplay feels good, and it's so satisfying cooking squishies. Just a shame that he's abused by anything that's slightly close ranged. Number 8, Brigitte. No character in gaming history has been nerfed as hard as Brigitte, and yet she's still a good pick, while being fun to play. Every part of her moveset works well together to make her both an offensive and defensive threat. As a character, she has an interesting relationship with Reinhardt and acts as a positive influence in the Overwatch team. Her armor is cool, and I think the skins they've made have been creative. I just wish she'd stop talking about poetry. Number 7, Lucio. The one hero who turned Spotify Premium into a power. His mix is so good that it physically heals gunshot wounds. His maneuverability makes him incredibly enjoyable to play, and his boop is just iconic. His personality fits well, and I think his skins are overall decent. The only thing he's lacking is important lore, as he doesn't impact the universe much. The other supports are also a bit more favourable for the team due to their high specific target healing outputs. Number 6, Cassidy. How the great can fall, especially when they're cancelled on Twitter. It was the best move to change his name, but it is a shame, as the original name did fit him well. With his grenade and design being changed as well as that, to me he genuinely feels like a shitty Disney reboot. His old skins are still good though, he has insta-kill potential, and he's still got his charm. High Noon is also the best ult in the game, so he still places high on this list. Number 5, Reaper. I've played Overwatch since release, and it's only in the last 2 months that I've played Reaper. I hated playing him, and I hated playing against him. But now that I have actually played him myself, I absolutely love his playstyle. To be able to jump in and out of combat so easily is rare and makes positioning less meaningful, which, to a small brain individual like myself, is perfect. I think his lore is alright and his skins are some of the best in the game. If his voice lines weren't as cringe, he would have had a higher spot, honestly. Number 4, Junkrat. The best voice lines in the game, hands down. He just doesn't give a shit, and that's absolutely brilliant. His playstyle is simple yet satisfying, with potential to learn more tech, though after a while he does kind of feel stale from just spamming his grenade launcher. But if you only play him on and off, he won't get too boring. His skins are generally solid, and his redesign is also an upgrade. I think the only thing he kind of lacks is lore, and he can be countered reasonably easily. Number 3, Tracer. Tracer has an energetic personality and playstyle. Her lore is interesting, and her powers are reasonably unique. This is expected from the poster character, but she is more unique than most poster characters out there. Gameplay-wise, she's incredibly fun, jumping around, dealing tons of damage to everyone, while selecting a target to just die with her ult. I think her design is good, and her large quantity of skins is nice, as you can just ignore the bad ones. Number 2, Ramattra. I'm convinced that they made this hero for me. I love his lore, I love his design, I love the voice acting, and I love his aggressive playstyle. He's decently powerful right now, with his ult being kind of overpowered, but he's still counterable. It's normal to pop off at some point in the match, and it makes you feel like a god. I get why his ideology is the way it is, as the Overwatch story has slowly built up the Omnic abuse, and I'm okay with him deciding that he has to resort to violence. I love this guy. And finally, number 1, Doomfist. Teased since day 1 and released with the most hype any hero has ever had. His moveset was incredible and fitting with his punch that can level a skyscraper, at least killing squishies with ease. My only issue with him is that they nerfed him as hard as Brig in the transition to Overwatch 2, and he didn't survive as well. His punch is laughably low damage now, and his ult doesn't feel very impactful, but that's really the only issue. He's actually good in the current meta, which is a bonus. He's still fun to play, and he does in fact work as a tank. His lore is crazy, and it feels like a major threat to anything that stands in his way. Personally, I prefer his old design, but I don't mind the new one, especially when he's got such a wide range of good skins. Overall, best hero in Overwatch 2. Thank you guys so much for watching to the end of the video. I really appreciate the support. If you like the video, please subscribe. I'm almost at 500 subscribers, and then I'll be doing a giveaway. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one.